What up, what up? Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast. My name is Salvador Briggman, and on today's episode, you are going to hear from the story of an entrepreneur who was on the brink of bankruptcy, who actually had his home on the line when it comes to being successful. If he wasn't, maybe that would be taken from him. And he literally went from being on the edge of bankruptcy to then being able to grow a company that's doing $6 million per year US dollars of turnover, and as well launch a new crowdfunding campaign. So on this podcast, I love to share stories just like this because I really think it not only empowers people out there that are going out there and seeking out, to get their dreams turned into reality, but also it gives you an idea of the tactics that crowdfunding creators just like this have used in order to smash through their goals, get funding on websites like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, even do equity crowdfunding campaigns like a WeFunder, etc. And that's really why I started this podcast in 2015, was to share those stories with you and those case studies so you can copy what works and apply that to your campaign. Like I mentioned, my name is Sal, and for me, this is not only a passion of mine, but it's really about understanding the science that goes behind a successful raise. I think that there's a lot of information out there, but not all information is good quality information. And my goal here is to provide high quality educational materials that you can act upon and move towards your goals with much more certainty and clarity, and specifically get funding so you can go out there and you can actually bring a new product into the world. You can ship it to homes nationwide or worldwide, and you can build a brand from scratch, no matter how long the journey is that it's been to get to this point in time. Some of y'all write in, you can go to my website, you can shoot me an email on my website, CrowdCrux, and some of y'all write in and like, Sal, I've been working on this product for years. I've been listening to your podcast on the way to work, and I'm so excited about this. It is so great to be able to work with students across the world who are in various stages of the entrepreneurial journey. And if nothing else, I hope that you enjoyed today's podcast episode. But for those of you who do want to learn more about doing one of these Kickstarter campaigns, and you really want to kind of follow that blueprint or the paint by numbers formula, which I have uncovered in order to get funding, to get validation, to build a crowd, to get people excited about your product or project or innovation, tabletop game, film project, web series, right? Whatever it is, and get it fully funded on Kickstarter. If you want to learn more about that, I have a great book out there called The Kickstarter Launch Formula. So this book, like I said, really holds your hand throughout the process and kind of demystifies every element going into a Kickstarter campaign. I will link that up in the show notes of this podcast. Or if you want to check out the Audible version, if you like to listen to audiobooks, it's a great way when you're going to work, you can listen to audiobook at the same time. Or if you're going to the gym, you can listen to audiobook at the same time. Or you're just walking, getting out there in nature, taking a break from the grindstone, right? It's a great way to really educate yourself at the same time. So you can get a free copy of the Kickstarter launch formula and also get a free copy, free trial of Audible at the link crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter audio. That link is crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter audio. And I actually have a new course as well I want to share with you for those of you who want to get media attention and want to have people talking about you in terms of influencers and journalists when you go live. You can go and check out my free crowdfunding PR course at crowdcrux.com/PR. That link is crowdcrux.com/PR. That link will take you there. Just enter your name and email. You can start that free course. Without further ado, let's dive into this episode and discover how this entrepreneur was able to raise over $70,000 with his recent Kickstarter campaign, now going into Indiegogo in demand. You hear about that and more in just a second. Hey guys, welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast. Today we are speaking with a creator who's been able to attract over $82,000 on Kickstarter, has a really interesting, unique product for PaintCam, AI face recognition and paintball security system. And we were lucky enough to have the creator here on the show. Srecko, welcome to the podcast.
Hello there. Thank you for having us.
Definitely. I'd love if we can get started. Maybe you can just fill in some gaps in that introduction and tell the audience more about you and what you've been working on.
Well, basically, I am a small entrepreneur, but I'm traveling a lot for work around the world. Actually, now I'm on my way to the airport. So I was home hearing that I have an intruder in my property, and there was my wife alone with a 12 years old kid. Well, at the time it was 10-year-old, and I was able to watch like this, but not able to do anything. So I was just seeing the guy perpetrating my property and trying to steal whatever it is. The interesting thing is that there was also,
My gosh.
yeah, and there was also 3 neighbors surrounding neighbors, the 3 other houses that are around my house, my property, my house, and they was all watching their own cameras. Actually, they was the ones that advised me that, hi, hey, I must tell you, you have an intruder in your property, But no one was coming out to confront the guy,
Right.
So
right.
this is wise, very wise, because you never know what this guy is carrying, what is capable of, and so on. So you have, from there on, well, actually, we got him, and he got 2 years of prison.
I'm glad that you were able to get, some justice in that situation. And I can only imagine, anyone who has a family would definitely feel a sense of dread knowing that something like that's happening.
Yeah. I mean, you cannot do anything. I cannot explain you I mean, I was crashing from inside,
Right.
So from there on, there was this was the main input: how to deter an intruder out of my property, of course, without harming him, but making it possible for the law enforcement to get him.
And, when it comes to this, a lot of people out there, they might experience that and they do nothing about it, right? Or they just have to continue to worry for the rest of their life. Why do you feel like you are different and you decided to actually invent something new?
Well, basically, I'm a techno freak. I don't know if I have explained myself very well, but I am a creative guy, but like I told you, I'm an entrepreneur. I have companies all my life. I work in security for the last 10 years, national security of few countries. So I was training forensic technicians. I have created the register for criminals for one country, and so on. And so I have a lot of background. I'm sure that you are aware of this.
Right. So you had a background,
CSI Chicago, and so on. And
yeah,
so
you
on.
have a background in security, and you also like to bring
Yes.
new products to the market, it sounds like. So what exactly is unique or different about PaintCam that everyone should know about?
Okay. First of all, PaintCam can work independently or not. Basically, PaintCam has, you decide where PaintCam have to watch, and you can, with your application on your phone, you can determine 2 different security rings. Let's say one blue and one red. If the person is coming to the blue area, PaintCam will advise him politely that please go, and you're not welcome, so you go away. If he enter the red area, it will again tell him please go away, or you will be marked, and then PaintCam will mark him. So basically, this is if you decide for PaintCam to work autonomously, and it's also based on different legislation in different countries. So it was very, very hard to find a way for PaintCam to be legally accepted all around the world in all different legislations. So apart from having, all the features like Wi-Fi connectivity, Bluetooth connectivity, we are now also planning the LoRa connectivity.
So what's kind of different about your product is that there's an active element where it wards off the intruder, right? Or it actually speaks to the intruder. So it sounds like that's kind of a big element, right?
Exactly. But you are the one who decide the logic of the interaction with the intruder. So it can mark it first and then advise him that he will be marked, or the PaintCam will advise first and then mark him. But always you have different types of decisions. One decision that can be made prior to the installation, and one decision after the installation where you can decide to mark or not to mark the intruder.
How long did it take you guys to go from having that experience and having this idea to actually getting this out there on Kickstarter? Was this a couple of months? Was this a year? How long were you actually working on this before you unveiled this?
Well, 2 years actually, and this was the fourth working prototype. So it was a long process. We was using, first of all, off-shelf products and integrating in our own design, and then little by little we got with this design, and actually now we are optimizing it for the industrial production. And probably what is more important, we will be in September on the security fair in Essen, Germany.
Great. So you've been making a lot of strides and improvements, and you've been going through the iteration with the product, which is killer. What made you decide to launch a Kickstarter campaign for this as opposed to other routes?
Well, when we started, it was, to prove the concept. Let's find out if we can prove the concept of PaintCam. Then it was thinking about, okay, maybe we will need some funds to finish the development and to prepare the first let's say products for mass production. But at the end of the day, it came all to publicity, to marketing. We got so much attention all around the world. We was in Washington Post, we was in Fox News nearby ex-President Trump. We was in Futurism and so on. So we was mentioned all around the world, and actually we got what we needed. We got the confirmation that the product is good and that we should go on with all our forces. You must know that we are funding this project all by ourselves. We don't have outside financiers. I mean, we are investing our own personal money.
So, in thinking about the campaign, what was going through your head the night before you went live with this Kickstarter?
Oh, I thought that the first day we will make like $400,000.
So you were positive, right? Definitely excited, it sounds like a bit as well.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, the numbers that we are getting now are pretty much real, since the main supporters, like 80% of the supporters are coming from the United States, and a lot of them have some legality questions. So more or less, we are exactly where we wanted to be.
Right, you're getting feedback. For sure.
Exactly. Also, we have made a pre-launch campaign before it, and I think we have made a good marketing pre-launch campaign and now. So we are good. We are good, and we are very happy with the ongoing.
When you think about all of these publications you've got on, first of all, congratulations. I mean, that's incredibly exciting. Are these people that are reaching out to you, or are you actively reaching out? How did you manage to get into such incredible publications like Futurism, Uncreate, Washington Times, Fox News? How did you manage to secure these?
Well, basically, we was working. Actually, Blaj was working as hell. He and Martin, that is also a co-founder, they was working with a number of agencies like Rollup from Slovenia and Pre-Launch and Jalop and so on. Also, they was engaged with they was sending personal emails to a lot of journalists and so on. So it was a lot of work, but somehow then it was something organic. There was a certain moment that in 3 days we got few million reach to few million persons, and it was incredible.
If you're worried about the fulfillment and shipping part of your Kickstarter campaign when it comes to getting out all those perks and rewards to your backers, rest assured I've put together a complete Kickstarter fulfillment and shipping checklist for you, and it's free. This is sponsored by the folks at Fulfillrite, and they thought that you should have this checklist as part of your arsenal going into a crowdfunding campaign. If you want to get instant access to this checklist, and it's free, you can go to fulfillrite.com/checklist. Again, that is fulfillrite.com/checklist, fulfillrite.com/checklist. Just go to that link and you can download it immediately. For someone who's listening to this, do you think the message would be that you need to be persistent if you're trying to get your product out there to journalists, or what do you think the message would be?
The message will be always, you must be persistent in whatever you do. Please believe in it, put up to the last dime in it, and be persistent. And even if you think that you are going to crash, don't bother about it. If you believe in it, there is somebody else that can believe in it.
In looking at the campaign page, I think it's pretty clear that you've been very persistent with having this idea for 2 years and executing on it, getting it out there, getting people to check it out, right? So it's great that you mentioned that point.
I mean, I believe you have seen the movie about the founder of McDonald's. There is one word that he is using all the way from the start of the movie at the end of the movie, and it's persistence.
Right, and that's really something that can get you through the times when you're uncertain, but also continue to carry your success, right? When you're
down, where you exactly, when you're down, when you think that nothing will go on, there is nothing else that can help but persistence. Even with a girl, if you are persistent, you will get somewhere. If otherwise, she will see that you have not the guts. So
for sure. In your experience as an entrepreneur, you've done other ventures as well. Is there anything that you've learned in your journey that you think you could pass on to the audience who's listening in terms of what would help them?
Life is tough. There was a lot of difficult moments and moments where everything was on stake. I had on stake the house of my parents and my own house, and it was, I was on the brink of bankruptcy a few times in my life, but somehow I managed always to come out from these situations, and now I'm making about $6 million US dollars of turnover per year, but we are, and we are working and we give us a job, and I mean, you cannot stop. You cannot stop. You must go on. You must have the clear vision and go on and be clear in your decisions. And if you permit me, you must be honest, because if you are dishonest, sooner or later it will come back to you.
Right. So you got to be honest. You have to be persistent, and like you said, you have to have a clear vision. It sounds like.
Exactly. Those three things, and that's it.
Being successful and having multiple projects, and this one as well, beginning to take off, which is exciting. What's been the most rewarding aspect to you? Is it the bringing in a lot of revenue? Is it shipping out product? What's most rewarding to you about the process so far?
The possibility to bring a new product on in reality.
And why is that exciting?
The fact that this, I mean, believe me, I'm good. I mean, money is nice, but to bring something, it's like bringing your child to life. If you have children or not, but believe me, bringing a product to life, if you believe in it, it's more rewarding than anything that you can imagine if we are talking about business.
Do you think that's because, other people use the product, or is it the experience of having your idea exist in the world? What aspect of that do you think is
probably both? Probably both.
Got it. So in thinking about this, I mean, you've been awesome here. You have an incredible page, and I do urge everyone to go and check this out. When it comes to your company, what's the vision here? Is it to put the power in the hands of the homeowner? Is it to, in the future, incorporate more AI into home security? What do you feel like is your clear vision for the future here?
These are the three products that are not only for homeowners, but is also for business owners. And it is also suitable for security companies, that have this, how could you call them, security centers from where they are watching, businesses and warehouses and so on. So this is the first step. The second step is we have a lot of requests for, for example, in Africa, there are elephants that are ruining to the farmers, but they cannot shoot them. So we are developing now just for wild animals to I don't want to say scare them, but to put them in a position that there will be something smelly so that they move away from that area, and so on. So
right.
We have, in this moment, this is one of another 4 products that we have in development right now for and I have not even reached the part where we have paintballs that actually have on some wings and paint can that uses 4 different ammo.
Understood. So there's a lot of products in development, and also with many different applications across industries.
Exactly.
And also it sounds like geographic locations. I got to ask you, man, I mean, you are a wonder in that seem like you're always having ideas and you're always taking action. Is there any way that you have a criteria for the ideas you choose to work on versus the ones that you kind of put on the shelf?
Yes, of course. Of course. I mean, there is always some brainstorming on what is okay, what is not okay. And, development costs a lot of money. So before you go and invest time and resources into something that not convenient. I mean, this is why you always make some brainstorming and check with other people what they think about any product. But definitely, we have started with PaintCam Eve, and from there on we came to a PaintCam Eve Plus that recognizes pets, so it will not harm your pets. And from there on, we came to Eve Pro, that is recognizing, that has face recognition and so on. So there is always some development, because each and every product is a live thing. The development never stops.
Got it. Where can people go to learn more about your current campaign, and where can they learn more about your other products as well?
Well, Oz IT is currently involved only with PaintCam and with all the variations of PaintCam. Basically, we are on schedule at the moment. We have promised to the supporters that starting from January, maximum starting February next year, they will get their paint cams that have ordered through Kickstarter, and we are definitely on the right path. And anyone that will be in September in Germany can come and see us live in the security fair. So welcome.
Love it. And for those that want to check it out, you can go to PaintCam and search that on Kickstarter. I have one final question for you, which is, if you were to go through this process again and launch a Kickstarter, is there anything you would have done differently, or any tidbits you'd like to share with the audience for someone who's just getting started?
Probably not. Because we are first timers. And we got a lot of help from these different agencies, and there is a bunch of companies outside that are searching new products and that can help you, let's say, promote it in some way. And if you are a first timer like we was, probably we wouldn't change anything. We wouldn't change.
Okay, so making sure you have the right partners.
We exactly. We was surprised on the amount of publicity that we got all around the world. So we already have reseller clients and so on. So we are happy.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. I'll make sure to link up the campaign in the show notes, and good luck with your remaining 9 days here.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for having us.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast. Oh man, this was an incredibly inspiring interview. I mean, just think about that. Going from being broke to having your house on the line to then developing a multi-million-dollar company, and then also launching a crowdfunding campaign for a new product line. In my opinion, that is incredibly inspirational. And anyone out there, wherever you are, whatever stage of the journey that you're in, I think you should take away that persistence is key. But sometimes at the same time, I do think it's difficult when you don't know the road ahead, when you don't know what's going to happen next when you go live, if you even are dotting your I's and crossing your T's when it comes to a project like this. I do think it's quite challenging. So first of all, for those of you that do want to learn more about how do you get media attention, PR, credibility when it comes to that, have journalists and influencers sharing your product, I do have, like I mentioned, that course out there for crowdfunding PR specifically. specifically getting media mentions, you can check out at crowdcrux.com/PR, and you can go and enter your name and email, and you can learn more about how to get media attention for your project and some of the tricks that actually go into doing that, specifically for Kickstarter and crowdfunding campaigns. But if you also want greater level of guidance, if you really want to have a mentor on your side, if you feel like, you know what, I'm going through this process and I've been thinking about this idea for even a couple of months or years, and I want to do this right. I want to build a strong foundation for the campaign. I understand the importance of getting this right because it can lead to thousands of dollars with my Kickstarter campaign. If that sounds like you and you want to have get access to me when it comes to booking an individual, intensive, one-on-one coaching call, you can go to the link I'm about to mention, fill out the form, tell me more about you, what you're trying to do, what your goals are, and we can get that call scheduled ASAP. If you want to learn more about that, I can give you feedback on every element of the marketing up until this point in time. I can tell you what you don't know about the process. I can introduce you to people in the industry that you should know, and tools as well that can help you supercharge your crowdfunding campaign and make sure that this is a smash success when it comes to your project. Go to the link I'm about to mention at crowdcrux.com/coaching and book your individual one-on-one coaching call today at that link, crowdcrux.com/coaching. That link is crowdcrux.com/coaching. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Please give me a positive rating and review on iTunes so that other people know this show is worth their time to listen to. I appreciate you so much, man. Get out there, hustle, take some action, move towards your goals with confidence, with clarity, with passion. And I'd love to have you as the success story on this podcast once you've blown past your goal with crowdfunding. Thank you so much. My name is Sal, and I'll see you next time.